NASA and SpaceX moon base by 2024. The American space program, while still impressive, is far from its glory days. NASA left the surface of the moon 50 years ago and is yet to return. NASA previously relied on the Apollo project as its primary transport to and from the moon. That is, until now. NASA had awarded Space Exploration Technologies, commonly known as SpaceX, a $2.89 billion contract to design and build a modified version of SpaceX's flagship Starship rocket. This new version would be called Starship HLS, short for Human Landing System. It would be used in combination with NASA's own Orion spacecraft and Lunar Orbital Gateway. The new project has been named Artemis in honor of the Greek goddess of the moon. It is a breath of fresh air, as feminine names are missing from our solar system. Artemis is also the twin sister of Apollo. While NASA may have been out of action for a while, their edge for naming missions has not been dulled. The project is set to change the course of space exploration and speed up the process at an incredible rate. It consists of not only going to the moon, but also setting up a permanent presence there. This base will allow for further deep space missions, acting as a supply and communication checkpoint. The technology for this mission needs to be invented, but replicating it for future missions would be easy once that's done. The next goal after reaching the moon would be the Red Planet. The ambitious entrepreneur Elon Musk wants to also set up a permanent base on the Martian surface. Until we reach there for real, I guess we just have to make do with the movie The Martian. The billionaire-led startup SpaceX company beat out fellow industry contenders Blue Origin and Dynetics. The contract awarded has left a sour taste in the mouth of the competition. Blue Origin posted a misleading infographic earlier, claiming that SpaceX doesn't even have an operational launch port and neither a rocket to launch yet. That is funny, considering Blue Origin has never had an orbital launch, while SpaceX has had about 120 orbital launches. Blue Origin also protested the lunar lander contract that was awarded to SpaceX as well. The expedition is going to have 2 launches. One will be uncrewed, while the second will be crewed. This is to ensure the astronauts' safety and ensure that supplies reach the Lunar Orbital Gateway before the arrival of its occupants. A little bit of depth on what we just said. The non-crewed Lunar Orbital Gateway would be the first to take off in this project, which would orbit the Earth. Following the LOG, the crewed Orion spacecraft would meet it at an undisclosed distance from the moon, and both of these would then travel towards the moon's surface. Well, this is what has been planned and reported. Furthermore, 5 more starships have been assigned duties and would also be subject to takeoff during the program. The first starship would be refueling the Orion spacecraft while it's in the atmosphere, followed by 4 more starships that would take off. These 4 starships would be carrying necessary equipment that would be transferred onto the Orion once its takeoff is stable and ready for the next step. Next, these 5 starships would make their way back to the surface of the Earth, and the Orion will move on towards the Lunar Orbital Gateway ready for its arrival. A little bit of insight on the suits, more on that later. Well, reportedly, the price tag on the suits goes way above what we can imagine. According to Quartz, it collectively costs NASA and SpaceX above $1 billion. To put it into perspective, the same $1 billion can also buy you a Falcon 9 and Cargo Dragon aircraft with still a few billions to spare. Shocked? A lot has also been revealed about the future landing site of the lunar spaceport and base. It will be located near the southern pole of the moon, specifically in the Shackleton crater. The crater has a couple of special features that will make habituating the moon a lot easier. Firstly, the surroundings of the crater are always lit with sunlight, enabling the use of solar panels to power the lunar base. The base of the crater is surprisingly rarely directly exposed to the sun, making shielding from the sun's radioactive rays easier. Early research has also shown signs of frozen water on the shaded side of the crater. This water will sustain the crew and grow food on the moon, making the unit self-sustainable. The crater also faces the Earth, making it easy for mission control and Artemis crew to communicate using radio waves. The lunar spaceport is being kept at least a kilometer away from the living quarters. To ensure the crew's safety from the fuel and toxic substances from the rocket engines, the American agency also plans to set up a local fuel production plant on the moon. This would be used for refueling rockets returning to Earth and planned surface travel methods and floating platforms that will enable short trips around the moon. A lunar telescope is also on the table, which will be placed on the moon's far side and controlled by the Artemis crew. Plethora of problems. The project is, of course, not without its delays. Being the behemoth that it is, NASA has to juggle many jobs, from keeping Congress happy, advancing human travel to space, staying on budget, and ensuring the safety of all astronauts and workers. During all this the thing takes the back seat, and that is timing. Currently, it doesn't look like NASA will be able to meet its deadline of 2024, saying that the suits may be ready by April 2025 at the earliest. The next-gen spacesuits that it has been developing are well behind schedule. They've been delayed due to technical, monetary, and COVID-19 related issues. A new report revealed that NASA has 27 different suppliers for its suits. The same report also said that, when all is said and done, the suits are set to cost the agency $1 billion. Avid Twitter user Elon Musk tweeted, "Sounds like too many cooks in the kitchen," while he offered that SpaceX makes the suits for the mission. We have to admit that SpaceX does know how to make some sweet-looking suits that give off the perfect futuristic vibe. What do you think of NASA and SpaceX's attempt at getting back to the moon for the first time in the 21st century? Tell us in the comments. If you're new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Like and share this video with your friends to make sure they stay up to date with the latest space news. That's it for today's video, viewers. We shall catch you in the next one.